In this video, we're going to create the material for the clothes, eyebrows, and eyelashes. All right, so let's do this real quick. I'm going to create a principal shader right over here. Control T to have these nodes. You know how it is. And then we're going to create a hue saturation. So I'm going to go a little faster because some of the things, it's a bit of a repetition at a point. And I will open the gradient for the clothes that we created, which is, let's see, clothes, base color. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so this is the one we created. And then I will create, actually, let me just play around with the values. So let's take a look at the clothes right over here. Okay, so for the clothes, first thing, I don't really like the roughness we have over here. So I will take the roughness up so that we have less of, the glossiness and the reflection. So 0.8 seems to be a good number for the clothes, as you can see. And then I will add a little bit amount of subsurface scattering. Again, if your rendering is taking way too long, just remove that. You probably won't really see that much of a difference. I'm putting it at a very low value, but it's a personal preference for me. So there you go. It makes it look a bit softer. So that's why I really like to add it. Okay, and then we will play around with the hue, saturation, and value. So again, you can play with the hue to change the color of the shirts. You can play with the hue. With the saturation, you can increase or decrease the saturation, and with the value you can change, well, the brightness of the object. So I will put it at 0.9 over here. Saturation, I will keep it at 0. As you can see, it's white over here. And for the hue, we will change it to 1. Well, doesn't really matter because saturation is at 0. But yeah, I'm just adding the same values that I did with the other scene. And then we will do something else. Actually, I just want to show you what you could do as well if you wanted to. Now, I'm not gonna give you the texture I'm using for this section, so the bump. You can add bump to the clothes, and the thing is, I just got it from textures.com. You can just get it from there. That's why I'm not supplying it, because it's not my own texture. But I just wanted to demonstrate how to use an online texture to quickly get some interesting looks. So if we get close over here, and I'm going to take the exterior texture. So I just downloaded a random fabric texture that is, you can just go to textures.com, create an account, and there are some free textures that you can download. So if you get close over here, okay, I'm gonna remove the hue saturation value, create a bump. Okay, and attach this to the color. And once we do that, I will add this in the normal over here. And as you can see, we're getting a lot of normal. Now, I don't really like this look. It's a bit too much. What I did is I scaled the texture by 4 in all sides to make it really small, as you can see. There you go. It's really, really small. Now, I could keep it that way, but I wanted to make it so subtle that we probably don't even see it in the render. What I did here is change the strength to 0.1. There you go. So you can almost see nothing here, but if you get really, really close, and in fact, let me just mute this for a second with the M and try to get really, really close. You can start seeing some bumps, some texture to it over here, and that slightly affects the glossiness as well when you're rendering the clothes. But again, it's really not a big issue with this character. You could go ahead and create the texture without the bump. But anyways, I just wanted to show you how to do it. It's quite easy. And yeah, let me just grab this over here. I'm gonna put the hue saturation value back with the M button, and I will keep at this. It works pretty well. We have some gradient with the clothes to add some interest, so it's a bit darker down. And this is from the image texture that we created. And that's about it for this. Oh, I almost stopped the video before continuing the eyelashes and eyebrows. My bad. So let's go to the eyelash. Man, I'm always in a hurry to stop the video. That's funny. So for the eyelash, we're just going to create a new material, call it eyelash. There you go, eyelashes, actually. eyelashes. There you go. Perfect. And then we will create a principled shader again. Pretty awesome shader. Here we go. And we will hit the Control T button, open up the texture we created for the eyelashes. So eyelashes base color. There you go. And what I'm gonna do before I continue is just double check the values I have on my other scene. Okay. So I basically, let me just push this to the right. I created a hue saturation value to change the hue a bit. I changed the saturation to 0.95 to decrease the saturation a bit, and the value to 0.8 to make it a bit darker than the hair. And let's take a look. There you go. That works pretty well. As for the roughness, I kept it at 0.5. The subsurface, I just slightly added 0.01. There you go. And then that's about it for the eyelashes. And what we're gonna do to just make things go faster, we're gonna choose the eyelashes over here for the eyebrows. We're gonna hit the plus sign. We're gonna call this eyebrows. There you go. And then we will just change the texture over here to, let's see, eyebrows base color. And I believe I had a slight difference in the value. Let me just double check. So for the eyebrows, we have 0.5, 0.95. The value I kept it at 1. It seemed a bit darker to start with. And let's see, 0.5, 0.5. That's pretty much how I did the eyebrows. So if we take a look, it's not a huge difference. I mean, even if you didn't use a texture, you just use the base color. So if I remove this and just used red, it would have worked. It just adds a little bit of something with the slight gradient that we have over here. So let's take a look. Yeah, as you can see, there's a slight gradient going on, and that just adds to the character. So since I like that, I'm gonna keep it. I am going to remove the render. And while we're at it, I will do these traps as well. I don't want to make a separate video for this little thing. Let's see. So for these traps, I believe I just made it darker, but I'm going to double check. Yep. So I'm going to create a new material. Actually, instead of creating a new material, we can just choose the eyelashes or eyebrows, hit the plus button to duplicate it, and then call it strap. There you go. And then we're gonna look for the strap because we created a gradient for it. Where are you? Strap base color. All right. And then I will take a look at what it looks like right now. So in the earlier video, it was dark, pitch black, and I said that it did a lot of contrast with the rest of the character. But the thing is, later on when we texture the eyes, you're gonna get some dark colors in the eyes. So here we have the pupil that is pitch black. And because of that, adding this dark color right now does not take away, it does not call for attention like it did before when it was the only black color in the whole scene. So for that reason, I chose a pitch black color. That's what we will do right now. Okay, so for the subsurface, we're gonna keep it as it is. Since we duplicated the material for the eyelashes, we got everything set up as it should be. And then I will change the saturation to 1. I'm gonna put it back to 1. And I will change the value to 0.05. There you go, so it's a lot darker right now. Okay. And that's pretty much all you need to do. You can always create a ramp if you want to. Let's just add it. Color ramp. Take a look at it over here. So this is the texture that we created, which is this one right now. And if you play around with the ramp, you can change the gradients that we created. But I pretty much like it as it is. So I'm going to mute it and keep it like this. So I'll stop right here for this video and we'll continue in the next one.